Welcome here to the Breakout Room 1. This is where we will be discussing Industry 4.0 and its value for Indonesia's food manufacturing sector. Audience questions are welcome, so please submit them using the Q&A function on your screen, please. Leading the discussion here is Mr. Alexander Grimm, Head of Vertical Management at F&B Industry ASEAN at Siemens. As a quick introduction, Alex has been with Siemens since 2011. Since 2017, he has been Head of Vertical Management for Food and Beverage Industry in ASEAN. He has also spoken on food and beverage related topics in ASEAN and authored several professional articles. Alex, I'm happy to hand proceedings over to you. Perhaps you can begin with a quick introduction of the panelists, followed by a few overarching remarks to set the context for the discussions, please.
Sure. Thank you very much, Jane. And ya, selamat pagi dan selamat datang Bu dan Pak di diskusi panel untuk makanan dan minuman industri. I will proceed now in English, and I'm really happy to be here with my dear colleagues and panelists. I want to welcome Bu Kevin from PT Indofood. I want to welcome Pa Darmanto from PT Greenfields, Pa Samuel from Org Industries, Pa Yuda from PT Kalbe Morinaga, and last but not least, Pa Ivan. He is from the Indonesian Food and Beverage Entrepreneurs Association. So really looking forward to have half an hour, maybe some minutes more to discuss with you. I'm from Siemens. I'm based here in Singapore, and as we from Siemens are engaging with electrification, automation, but also this entire portfolio when it comes to digitalization like artificial intelligence, blockchain or edge computing. And visiting, at the moment more virtually than real, but also visiting a lot of food and beverage customers in Indonesia, knowing that Indonesia has a great and long-term culture when it comes to food, and also realizing that Indonesia is the fourth biggest population worldwide, distributed over 17,000 islands. I really think it's worthy and it's really also necessary to talk about how the food and beverage industry can benefit and take advantage from all these movements which are going on in the digitalization arena to bring the food and beverage manufacturing in Indonesia into the future. And therefore, I want to start the discussion with Pa Darmanto. Pa Darmanto, I know you have over 20 years experience in the dairy industry. And I also see that the dairy industry is changing a lot. I still remember my childhood. I grown up in Germany in a small village, and dairy industry was that my mother sent me with a milk can to the farmer, and I bought there 3 liters of milk. Today, if I see the shelves, there are so many varieties. There are so many product sizes. I see more and more products. And I know you also been leading innovation in dairy products within PT Greenfields. So it would be really now very interesting for me to really hear from you also how you react in the production, how you react at PT Greenfields on this changing consumer behavior.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Yeah, it is really true with the Indonesia background, with different island, different culture. We are facing into different customer requirement, and of course now the new trend, it is always about the customization. People want to be treated as a personal. They have a different preference, and as an industry, we need to also following the trend. But this also give us a challenging, because in the industry we are to be a most efficient. We should run in the bigger batch with a continuous product with the same products. Every change, every additional of SKU will increase the complexity of the system. Then this also leads us in inefficiency in the operation. But this is something that we need to tackle because it's the consumer demand. We're also facing with a new generation, the millennial, that is changing the behavior and the preference. We can see also the product life cycle become shorter and shorter. So we need to keep launch the new product that suits to the new consumer, and we'll still maintaining also the existing SKU that is we have. So to tackle this demand, things we need to have an innovation, but this is one thing for sure. But we also need to have a system that is we can keep the production to be efficient and also maintaining the quality with this whole complexity. And this, I think, the industrial 4.0 become important when we have the system to do the all traceability. We have a system that is manage the production. So even with the complexity, we still can run at optimal condition, and without any also reducing the mistake with all the manual process. Yeah, and I think it is important also that is the new generation that we are facing now is a millennial, that they are savvy with the technology. And I agree with Pak Yuda in the previous session that talk about this, the manpower is important, but also I have a different view that Paxel also mentioned, that is implementation is actually the iteration. If we don't start and we still use the old way, we cannot attract the new talent that is the millennial, that they will be savvy of technology. So then our employees also our marketing, all they will be talk with a friend, and this will be also good for us. So I think no best time to implement. The best time is we should implement as soon as for this the digitalization. Yeah, I think that's from me. Alex, thank you.
Terima kasih, Pak Yamanto. And thank you also very much for highlighting and putting people in the center, because I think this is something which is sometimes forgotten when we talk about all these technologies. And I think in the food and beverage industry, this is something which is very obviously, because we as the persons, we are the consumers, and we take the decision if we do it via e-commerce or if we stand at the supermarket and we choose what product we want to have. And you're right, the complexity is getting higher and higher. But at the end, this complexity needs to be also handled by us. And I think one very good example is always what we do with all these smart devices. They are smart, they're handling a lot of complex things, but they handle this in a very, very easy way for us. And I think not only iPhone, also all the other smartphones, they even don't have a manual anymore because they are intuitive. And I think this is an important part, that we're not doing digitalization because of the digitalization. There must be an advantage. And therefore, I also want to welcome Pa Samuel, from Org Industry. So Samuel, you've been a management consultant before, and now you are CEO and co-founder of the startup Org Industries. Mm-hmm. And I know you're dealing also with a lot of technology. You making considerations about setting up networks and also how to handle data. So my question to you is how you would describe the ideal ecosystem to manage all this data and to take advantage of all this data in the food and beverage industry.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the introduction. So maybe just a quick explanation. I'm a co-founder of Org Industry, which is an industrial IoT company. So what we do is we build and we deploy Fitbit for machines, right? So they are IoT devices that measures the steps, the heart rate, and the sleeping pattern of machines. Right, so and that's probably just the starting point. I think I love the analogy you use, Alex, about iPhone having no more manuals. In fact, that is also our goal. I think, like the earlier session pointed out very importantly, right? There's the business, there's the technology, and there's the people, right? And all these three must come together. And I think we strive as far as possible to bring data at IoT level, not just as a data, just acquiring it and showing on the screen. I think that is only technology, like pure technology, at a very low level technology, right? What really needs to be done is then to pull it to the business value level, right? So then you can tell how the business is performing. And that is a step that a lot of systems, a lot of company, a lot of clients that we see that struggle with. But even beyond the second step of a business, the third step is the people, how to win the heart and mind. So I think in short, I think these are three very important considerations. And to your point about ecosystem, I think long gone are the days, no offense, Alex, but no longer is the days where Siemens does everything, right? Siemens is a very big player, you are very big. But now there's a lot more different kind of flavors and styles, just like you look into iOS, how many apps they have, how many on Androids. So I think when people select a solution and select a technology stack, you also have to think about future proving, right? And how solution can work together. Like in the earlier session, Connects bring together a solution that is very powerful in terms of machine vision, right? And how you bring that together with the IoTs, for example, or from the vibration predictive maintenance, and how you can bring them together. That's a very important consideration. So I think of industry, we're pretty young. I think it's an early stage high growth startup. I think we are doing quite well. We have 2,000 machines deployed, mostly in Singapore, Southeast Asia. But constantly we think about how we can collaborate with others. One of the most important things is finding APIs. API stands for Application Programming Interface. Basically allows software and software to integrate and to talk to each other. And I think that's how 1 + 1 becomes more than 2. And that's something I invite everyone to think about hard. Yep.
Thank you very much, Samuel. And
No
I think you hit some really interesting points. The interesting point is how to turn data into value. Because today, collecting data, this is not a rocket science anymore. We have so much data available, actually sometimes too much data. But we need to put them in relation. We need to make them visible and usable for us. And I think this is the important thing. And therefore, the other good topic what you mentioned, yes, I'm from Siemens, but I see me here more as a neutral person. But nevertheless, speaking about these big technology providers, definitely the times of closed boxes is over. It is not anymore that we have a telephone, which is a closed box, we plug into the wall and we can only do phone calls. It is about having the right platform, coming again to hear our lovely smartphones.
Correct.
And the platform should be future-proof, definitely, because there is no new operating system every year. There is iOS, there's Android, and basically that's it. But these are open platforms. And these open platforms we need for especially, and yes, I think, Samuel, you are one of the younger guys here in our round, but we need guys like you who are innovative, who also take the risk and develop such really fancy, cool applications, but we also need to set up this platform for you that you have this environment to bring in all these super cool things you can do with artificial intelligence and turn data into value. So really, really great.
Correct. It's a very exciting time indeed. We see a lot of collaboration, there's a lot of partnership ongoing. So really think about that. Don't just look at one solution, but look at the whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's really about the ecosystem that it works, and this is not in a hierarchy anymore. And therefore, also really the improvement and the innovation needs to be set up in a culture. And Payuda, I know you've been also in a very interesting session just some minutes before. So really great to have you here again in this session. Great to have somebody from Kalbe Morinaga here. And I know you really also put a big focus on setting up an improvement and innovation culture to introduce in Industry 4.0. So it would be also great to hear from your standpoint here in this session, how, in your opinion, this roadmap is looking like to really bring a culture within an organization, within a company, towards these future developments.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Alec. I will try to explain an example briefly how we do journey for 4.0 as a new technology. First, I think you need to focus on knowing your company need. We call it this is a pain point. So also we need to understand again that your people are important part of transformation journey. Now also to respond to the business situation with high uncertainty, we require speed, agility, and toughness. Industry 4.0 development is depend business process. Depends what area do you want to improve or innovate. This is your pain point. After after that, we see available technology that can help our business. We create in Kalbe Morenega, we create our smart factory concept. Start to develop production system, set challenging target, and in the next step, we create integrated supply chain. And in the future, we will develop global supply chain. Yes, of course, you can utilize technology as enabler and accelerator, but technology not the objective. Just looking for relevant technology solution then that can help your company. Not all technology is suitable for you, I'm sure. For Kalbe More in Indonesia, there was basically to maintain activity. First, people. We create digital culture and attitude to create digital champion for employee, how to involve through current technology, how to empower the people, the employee with future technology, and also by digital champion, how to empower our employee to think systematic, creative, complex, in practical by doing 4.0 project by themselves, and also create employee or people mentality to ready for changing or disruption. In our understanding, as I said before, technology can be changing very fast. What we implement today will be not maybe relevant for near future. How to anticipate this situation? We need people or employee that can respond this changing. Focus to create solution based on available technology in market. We have digital competency development program also for employee to increase their skill and capability. We train all employee for digital literacy, data reading, data analysis, even how to handle gadget or wearable device. We also have digital champion program. We selected employee who have interested in digital tools. They are not from IT or engineering person, but actually they are mostly operator or administration staff. We train them, and after that, they can develop digital project in their process. By doing 4.0, they may make a trial and error. Even they will fail in some project, but they will learn new digital skill, learn creative thinking, complex thinking, hard skill and soft skill. And the good point, company can create the best employee. And then the second one, by automation and 4.0 project to accelerate agile operation by integration of our vertical or horizontal business process. Automation, we use to eliminate manual and analog processing. By doing automation, non-value added process, repetitive and administration will be eliminated. At the same time, every process can produce digital data. This data we can monitor in real time. If needed, also we can create a lot of feedback system if there is abnormality in process. So basically we're shifting from analog to digital data. This data can be collected to centralized data warehouse. We can also utilize as analytic activity. So how we started the project? First, you need to, maybe you can try to start creating pilot project to learn. We always do pilot or model project to implement all new things in Kalbe Morinaga. Start small, step by step. 4.0 project start from company need. What is the pain point? Start small to create immediate impact. Maybe not big impact yet. to show the progress. And the important thing also to increase people confidence. And then you can deliver immediate impact. For instance, instead we buy the system from supplier, sometimes our employee decided to create by themselves. After 4.0 training, such as IoT, microcontroller, etc., they confident. It shows that employee can adapt fast to know the pain point, able to create, for example, real-time monitoring using microcontroller or Raspberry or something like that. And then they can they connect it to open source business intelligence or BI software such as Grafana. This, of course, will deliver immediate impact to business, I think. So also by creating new employee capability by 4.0 project, also we create better way of thinking to build automation pyramid. We increase people capability by doing project. We also create automation pyramid to identify the horizontal and vertical integration, how we connect company business. This one also as a blueprint. So digital champion have guidance, what pain point should be eliminated or reduced, what technology should be used. This is very important. Even some project is top down in company scale, but most the project also bottom up. So our digital champion have reference, and every project can integrate it. The apps can communicate each other. Data also can be stored in centralized data warehouse. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Payuda. This is exactly also hitting the nail. So you also talk a lot about the changing in the employees, the changing of the knowledge, what they need to have. And yes, I think it really also needs employers like you, who are also investing not only in technology, but also investing in the people. And like you said, you give them the right trainings, and you also encourage them with having these digital champions and so on. So I think this is really the right way, because what we are now, this is a journey. This is not something where you say, okay, you buy from Siemens or from somewhere else. You buy 2 or 3 products and then you are 100% digital. No, it is really a journey where you also have to take the people with you. And you also mentioned the automation pyramid. I know for the time being, yes, we are still thinking in our pyramids. I even would go some steps further and say that we are also transferring this pyramid into a network. And the good thing is, if we look to industrial automation, industrial digitalization, we can always have a look into our consumer home electronics market, because they are mostly a step ahead. And if we look at these devices, like our smartphone, our smart TV, our smart home, or whatever we have there, there is also no pyramid anymore. They are in a network and exchanging this data. And then, yes, analyzing. You also mentioned the topic of analyzing, and this is also important, that we are able to analyze this data. So, for example, of course, my smartphone takes track about how many steps I'm doing per day. And then another app can calculate how many calories I can eat without gaining weight. So this is turning data into value and also creating this trust, what you mentioned, Payudo. I think this is also a very important point, building up the confidence and trust on the employer side, on the employee side, and also on the consumer side. Looking into new topics like e-commerce, which will come in food and beverage, looking into trustability, sustainability. I mentioned blockchain in the beginning, which is one of the technologies. Yes, this can help there. And I think this is a very, very important point, to take all them with us and not only think about technology. And therefore, I also want to come now, Buchanan from PT NutriFood. I think most really know PT NutriFood because they have the big brands like Tropicana Slim or Hilo. And Karen, you are head of digital transformation, and you are also head of R&D, which I think is a very interesting combination, because R&D in food and beverage in the past also been a quite conservative topic, it's more or less like, please correct me if I'm wrong, but it's more or less like working in a laboratory kitchen and creating new products. I think this also changed dramatically because one here in the round also mentioned the shortened life cycles we have. And this also requires this transformation. So Buchanan, it would be great if you can share out of your great experience some of your key findings within this transformation.
Thank you. It is regarding the transformation and then also what we do actually in the food and beverages company. It's actually the core of every strategy in the business is to fulfill our customer needs. Also, Alex in the first opening remarks section, he already talked about the need of the agility and then also the customer centricity. And then yes, you're correct, Alex, that you said that especially in food and beverages industry, there is a lot of regulation now is appearing. Let's say it's the compliance, the increasing understanding of the customer regarding the allergens. Also, there is a nutrient need, the plant-based nutrient is also now is appearing. So I think it's a very important to have a good strategy, and especially having this digital transformation in our manufacturing side to integrate also with our product lifecycle management and then also our marketing and then also with our sales and distribution. I think it's a very important to have a good strategy out of it. So it's actually since we already start thinking about this digital transformation is since the 2015, that's the first smart manufacturing project is asked by our CEO, because he is a very visionary person, knowing that the emerging in the internet technology, also the sensor technology, and then also increasing in artificial intelligence, that also make we need to think ahead about what strategy that we need to be aligned with the technology. Also the most important, as Payuda also said, and also in the other session, the other speaker is also talking about the importance of having the people ready, because it's how our strategy is how to have like the high technology, but with the human with the human touch, I said, because you know, having the technology, it's actually easy if you have the budget. If the company has a budget, it's easy to have the technology, but to implement it and then to make sure that the technology will be sustained, this is another thing, because how you have to prepare the people, and how you also need to make sure that your business process is relevant with the technology that will be applied, and then also how to really make all things work, and also how to make all is connected. I think the presentation from Alex at the opening remark is correct, because our aim is how to make this organization become agile, and then having the customer centricity it's become something that is important. So I think this is what we are doing. It's not always we not always need something expensive in terms of the technology, because if you apply a full system technology without knowing what is this, you will become a problem with you. But then I also agree with what Alex said, that is having the right platform is important. And then also in the previous session, it's already said that about regarding the helix and the matrix, about how we then have to collaborate with the government, with the university, with the tech provider, also with the university. And this is how we create the chain to work together to enable the implementation of the technology. I think it is very important to know what is what we want to do. So the aim is, again, the customer focus, and then special in the food and beverages. Another thing regarding the more shelf life that is important, Also, the food safety is also important. It's not only the food quality, but also the food safety is something very important. So regarding the food safety, the traceability system, we need to also take care of that, because also now the government regulation is become very strict regarding that. And then also, I think the last thing is about being eco-efficiency. It's also important, because regarding now, we are as a business, NutriFood, we are not only thinking about serving our customer, but we want to serve our customer in the right way, and then also to make this planet to be sustainable, because sometimes the packaging, and then the trust for the packaging, and then also the product that we have to consume, we have to make sure that the quality is good, but also not become another problem for the planet. I think that's what I can share regarding the digital transformation and the strategy and what we are doing.
Hey, Sam, here, maybe just to
Kathy.
chip in on the eco, I think we definitely agree with that. Increasingly, more and more of our customers are connecting to energy, to yield, to waste, to emissions, etc. It's definitely a very big thing that I think everyone is also looking at.
Yeah. Thank you very much for this comment, and then also really thank you very much, Karen, for your really good points. And again, it's really about the people. It's not about putting in one single technology. It is really a journey. This is also something what we learned as a big technology provider, that it's not about placing products anymore. It's really about collaboration, co-creation. And this is also what you mentioned, Samuel. The time of closed boxes is over. It's about open ecosystems. It's about collaborating and co-creating and thinking in roadmaps, thinking really on this journey. This is also very, very important for all the technology suppliers. And bringing another facet to this discussion, I'm also really happy to welcome Pak Iwan from the Indonesian Food and Beverage Entrepreneurs Association. And I know, Pak Iwan, you completed your doctoral program in management science, and you also established even your own business in the food and beverage sector. But I'm also a little bit more interested about the other side of all the food and beverage development within Indonesia. I know we talk about deforestation. We talk about still not so sufficient supply chains. And we also want to talk about how to integrate parties like local farmers. So I really be happy to hand now over to you, Pak Iwan, that you can give us also a little bit another view on the Indonesian food and beverage market.
Thank you, Alex. In the association, all the entrepreneurs there, they are doing the upstream, collecting the user experience, and build their main midstream by building the automation, the good management with the technology. But in the downstream, government also encourage to spread the land. We already give to farmer 12 million hectares as a social forest, and already give the paper to the farmers. And we found also in a supply side, we found a food loss in Indonesia is a 40% loss because not enough midstream processors. While the entrepreneurs is focusing in the upstream, only collecting user experience with their brand, and building automation in the midstream with a good management, good equipment, do efficiency. But in the downstream, we have a data, a balance of trade of our food ingredient still deficit, while we have a 40% food loss with unutilized 12 million hectares land with excellent weather. We are a tropical country. I think with the digital transformation, we encourage the brand owner, the upstream, all the members in the association to aggregate and inclusive to make it the food and beverage more sustainable. Because if we just collecting the user experience by bringing in the import ingredients, I think you already found in the Suez Channel in trouble. We also stuck in the ingredient as well, Alex. That's my point I bring in the national level. So we still have two issues, food loss and the unutilized social forest. That's all, Alex, from association. Thank you.
Terima kasih, Pak Ivan, and really thank you very much for also bringing this up, because talking about all the fancy technology, there needs to be a benefit. How we can attract these big pain points like 40% food loss. This is a big value what we are throwing away, and this is something which needs to be addressed. And you also talked about the governmental involvement, and I think this is very important. We have in this ecosystem, for sure, we have technology providers like I'm coming from. We have big food and beverage manufacturers, where also here Karen, Payuda, Patamanto is coming from. But there are also some challenges. And food and beverage, I think, is an essential global topic, where there are also topics where we need to be united as a global citizenship, but also on a country level. And I'm really also happy to see that the Indonesian government, with initiatives like Indonesia 4.0, somebody also before mentioned this Indy 4.0 assessments. So I also joined some of them. So it's really interesting how much you can get out of this to see where are you now, where you want to go. And I know that the Indonesian government, the Indonesian Ministry of Industry, they are also highly engaged in this. And this is really great to see. And it's also great to see, looking at our round here, that there are so many good ideas bringing up this ecosystem. So to sum it up, don't forget about the people. Don't forget about the consumers. They are at the end the people who paying us all. And actually it's also ourselves. And a good thing for food and beverage is we are all consumers as well. So we also really can think about ourselves. What are our needs? What are our requirements? They are for sure the employees. And if we go on a digital journey, I think it's really important to make a clear statement. Nobody is losing their job because of digitalization. If we look in the automotive industry, which is highly digital, which is highly automated, they are still very big employers. So it's not that the automotive industry has no employers anymore. But I think that job profiles change. And actually our job profiles become much more interesting. Also, somebody mentioned repetitive works. I don't think anybody is super happy with just putting one box from one place to the other place all the day. I think we can create much more interesting, much more valuable jobs, and not only bringing value to the products, but also bring really value to the employees. And putting people in the center, and this I think is again what all these smart devices do so well. They put the people in the center, not the hardware. It's putting me in the center, how I operate. I don't have to follow a keyboard anymore. I just follow it intuitive. And therefore, I really just want to engage everybody here. Put the people in the center and then build the technology around. Think in the ecosystem, don't think about single products, think about networks, think about the big picture. And with that, I want to say really, terima kasih to you all, and back to you, Cheng.
Thank you so much, Alex, Pak Iwan, Pak Darmanto, Ibu Karen, Pak Yuda, and Samuel for your insights and experiences. I'm sure the audiences have learned a lot. So ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of Voice of the Market Indonesia Industry 4.0 Forum. Thank you so much for your support, and we hope you have found today's forum insightful and useful. Your overall feedback on today's forum will be greatly appreciated, and we invite you to complete the satisfaction poll, please. If you wish to review today's session, a recording will be made available on our event website soon, so please feel free to re-watch and share it with your network. Thank you all again for your support, and we look forward to seeing you at ITAP 2021 in November. Goodbye.